And that's the good part about it. Okay? So, how are you today, my dear?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
You didn't expect me to say that, right?
No, you caught me off guard. But I am really looking forward to today's episode.
Yes,
right?
we have a wonderful guest this evening. And once again, welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show. Our conversation this evening goes beyond what most people think. When you hear the words martial arts, you tend to conjure up, people kicking each other, punches flying here and there, and people trying to defend themselves. But what if this discipline, and that's what I'm going to be calling it, it's a discipline, it's an ancient discipline. What if it is actually one of the most complete systems of health, balance and personal transformation? What if it strengthens the body?
So it sounds like something you need a lot. Right? Okay, go ahead.
This is the health show. This is not a personal show.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a health show.
And it sharpens the mind, right? Discipline. That's what I need.
That's what it needs, right?
Reduce stress.
Yes, that's why you shouldn't be throwing me under the bus today. And it supports long-term health in ways that, we often tend to overlook. So, to help us explore the deeper side of martial arts, not as combat, but as a lifestyle practice for total wellness, we're joined today by our guest, Sensei Paul Hamilton.
Great.
And I'm going to let you take over from there.
Sure. Sensei Paul, I am pleased, I'm actually honored to welcome you to the Liquid Green Health Show. And I know we met not too long ago. I've seen you at the gym at the Y in Oshawa all the time. But it's just when you were talking to Fred one day that I realized that you were the karate instructor. I didn't know that. And thanks to you, I want to say thanks to you, our audience knows that Fred went back to the gym, and it was because of your encouragement while he went back, and it's going to take your encouragement again to bring him back again.
No, you have to tell him the reason why.
No,
don't throw me under the bus.
No, anyway, Sensei Paul, we know that you have over 30 years from the bio you sent. You have more than 30 years in karate, and you started with a Master Paul Chan, Hong Kong Kung Fu Club, and you trained from the 1980s. And you now have your own dojo, which is called Kiyoshi, MGTA. Kiyoshi GT in the GTA, right? And you also have dedicated, I would say, a lot of your life, right, to this art, to the martial arts, and you're instructor. You work in Toronto with the recreational karate program at various locations. And with the little that I know you, I already realized that you're truly a martial artist, because your desire is to help people to promote not just the art. I think what the saying is that you don't try to perfect martial arts. What you do is you try to perfect your own skill and your own life, your own self-worth. And I see the way you interact with the kids. We stopped and we watched yesterday, and kids are having fun. It's a big space and there's a lot of kids. They're also interested, all the different levels going on at the same time. And so we want to just learn from you today. We just want to have a conversation and have you help us understand karate and why it's not just a sport, why it's for individuals, and how we can help even older individuals
like yourself,
like myself and Fred. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you inviting me here.
Okay, so where do we start? What got you into karate or into arts?
I will suggest that my first martial art was Kung Fu, and I trained at the Hong Luk Kung Fu Club in Toronto, Spadina and Dundas.
Okay.
It took an hour and a half to get there and an hour and a half to get home on TTC, Toronto Transit. And it was something that I really felt I wanted to do. My mom, who's passed now, offered me judo. And I said, I'm not interested. And she said to me, the stone that the builder refused,
Okay.
that kind of thing. But I trained with a good friend of mine, Russell, and we traveled to Hong Lok Kung Fu Club, which is in Toronto from Scarborough. And we spent quite a few years there, almost 10, training under Master Paul Chan, as you had mentioned earlier. After training with him for 10 years, I thought it would be time to do something a little bit different. Karate was very close to me, not an hour and a half away. It was in the Malvern Community Center. And the karate instructor there was Master Theo Bell from Trinidad. And he taught me karate, and I learned it. We've traveled the world doing karate, I would suggest. And at the end of the day, the martial arts has always been part of my life, but the Kung Fu that I started first was about self-defense. So when I was younger, a little bit of bullying going on when I was here in the 70s. Lots of bullying going on, lots of racial divide and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure I could take care of myself. So I entered into the Kung Fu realm of martial arts.
Okay.
That's how that went.
Okay. Now, you talk about self-defense. From the little research that we've done, it's as if there's 3 different schools of karate or of martial arts. You have in the beginning, what is it? There was it really originated as self-defense, and it became modernized, and now it seems like there's just like a sports component where it's even in the Olympics, there is competition. What's the difference between some of those different styles in martial arts? Like there's judo and kung fu and...
Okay, I can take you through some of that.
Yeah.
You mentioned judo.
Right.
So judo comes directly from Japan.
Right.
Ju, translated, means 10.
Means what?
So it means the number 10.
Okay.
Right? Ichi, sanshi, go, rukushi, chachiku, ju is 10.
Okay.
But it also means gentle. The word ju means gentle. Do is the Japanese word for the path or the way.
Okay.
So judo is the gentle way.
Okay.
That's how that works for judo. There's many different martial arts disciplines. I'll go through a few for you, just so you know. Aikido is a martial arts discipline. And if you've seen a Steven Seagal movie, it's based on using the other person's force against them. You don't have to have force. You use the other person's force against them.
Okay.
That's the Aikido piece.
What was Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee did Kung Fu, actually.
Okay, Kung Fu.
He was a Kung Fu practitioner for many years. He grew up in Hong Kong, and then he was engaged in some street stuff. The parents didn't want to see him die on the streets. They sent him to America. So he went to California.
Oh, wow.
Went to California and continued his martial arts, opened up his own martial arts studio and built it and built a following, and then adopted his own style. And his own style was called Jeet Kune Do, way of the intercepting fist. And he popularized martial arts.
Yes.
And the fancy kicks and punches and stuff like that. And many kids would see that and then say, I want to be like that.
Right.
And move on from there. So yes, Bruce was very influential in the martial arts world, and he was a Kung Fu practitioner.
Right. I know his movie, Enter the Dragon. Oh my God. I saw it about 20 times.
There you go. Absolutely. He was a legend in his own time. Too bad that he passed away
so early.
Sooner than he should have, because he would have had something to share with the world. You may have heard of MMA.
Yes.
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is another martial arts system that's out there now, popularized by some martial artists. But actually, Bruce was one of the first people to do MMA. It just wasn't called MMA.
Okay.
Because he trained in judo, he trained in boxing, he trained in kung fu. He had many disciplines under his belt. And one of his philosophies was, if it works, use it. If it doesn't, put it aside. It's okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what that was all about. But back then, there was in the movies that he portrays, there was a lot of animosity between Japan and China.
Okay.
So it's always the Chinese versus the Japanese, antagonist, protagonist, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how that is.
How do we
Um,
get how do we get to like a kickboxing? Is that still martial arts or is that something?
Absolutely.
It's still martial
Kickboxing,
arts. Yeah.
or Muay Thai, as they call it, that's another version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Either Thailand
Mm-hmm.
or other parts of Asia, they do Muay Thai.
Okay.
And Muay Thai is a martial arts discipline where they strengthen the body till it's almost iron. When they kick and they kick your legs, it takes one or two or three kicks, and then you don't want to walk anymore because your legs are swollen or broken.
Bruised.
That's Muay Thai. It's a very
Wow.
brutal martial art, but it's, they used it in the preservation of life.
Okay.
So that's why they had to be so strong.
Okay.
And the other one I want to ask you about is jujitsu, because lots of the kids, it's either karate or jujitsu. I was talking to a little kid yesterday, and his dad said, oh, he started jujitsu, but he never liked it. But I know a lot of little kids are doing karate. Our own grandchildren, they started from age 6. Maxwell is now 10. He's been doing karate for 3 years. And he loves it, and he's in competitions and all that already.
And he
So what's
punches hard.
jujitsu? He's little, he's
punches
thin,
really
but
hard.
he has a 6-pack, and if he punches you, you have to say, hey, you do karate, take it easy, you know?
Yes. Jiu-jitsu, I think most likely he's doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Oh, the kid.
So jiu-jitsu is a Japanese discipline, and it revolves around locks and holds.
Okay.
Locks and holds. If you grab a jiu-jitsu guy, you're going to be on the floor in about 10 seconds because they use locks, joint locks, wrist locks to manipulate the opponent or to put them in so much pain that all they want to do is tap. Stop, 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 because it hurts so much.
Sounds
That's
like
the
wrestling.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. The other jiu-jitsu is very similar, but the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or BJJ, is grappling, where they fight on the ground in gis, and then they do chokes and holds, and it's a game of chess between the two competitors, but it can be painful.
Wow, that is great. So
That's a
good
great explanation,
education
of
without having to
the various disciplines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at from the health perspective of this. From a health perspective, I know, I've heard rather that martial arts can help with balance, it could help with coordination and stuff like that. But what does martial arts do for the body that maybe that the traditional workouts don't do?
That's a very good question. I would suggest that if you've ever seen Tai Chi being done by some of the older folks in parks and so forth,
yes,
Tai Chi, and I'm using that first before I answer, Tai Chi, that slow moving exercise with the hands and that, an entire culture does that because it promotes the lack of atrophy. So if you're not doing any exercises and you're lying down all the time, your body is going to waste away.
Yeah.
They keep the exercise and the energy, electrical energy of their body flowing all the time. They do Tai Chi every day. They do exercises every day. They keep their bodies limber, useful. When you stop using your body, you're telling the brain and the body, we don't need this anymore. I worked hard for 50 years. I don't need you anymore. Then the body starts shutting down certain functions because you're no longer requiring it. And that's why I suggest to people, when you retire, stay busy. Do something you enjoy, do something you love. But physical activity is very important. You're never too old to do karate. So you asked about the age and the health benefits. Karate teaches you martial arts patterns. It's a way of memorizing moves that could one day save your life. You don't have to do them at full 100% power. You just have to memorize the moves and work through them. But in doing that, the brain is at work, the body's at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you feel the need to compete, that's a whole different story. But if you're just there for the exercise, there's a lot of benefits from just maintaining mobility, learning flexibility, learning some stretching. And the most important factor out of all of those things, which I have not yet mentioned, is the breathing.
Right.
Because we think we know how to breathe because we get up every day and we talk and da da da, and you're still breathing, so you think you know how, but not necessarily. The most important style of breathing is diaphragmatic breathing,
Yeah.
where you do not breathe from the chest, but you breathe from the diaphragm.
The diaphragm. Yeah.
And so a lot of us, as soon as we get up and we stand up, we lift the chest to breathe, which is inappropriate. You should be breathing from the diaphragm, where your lungs are located. You fill your lungs with air, and then you release the air. But when we stand up and we're hustling around, we take short breaths, breathing from the chest, and that's not the way to breathe. And you do diaphragmatic breathing when you are at rest. So I challenge you and anyone listening, when you lie down on the floor, put your hands on your tummy.
Right.
And then take a deep breath in, and you'll find that your tummy raises,
Yes.
and then it lowers. Raises, and then it lowers. But it doesn't do that when you're standing up, because we take half a breath. We breathe from the chest.
Shallow breathing.
Shallow breathing. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what
I'm familiar with that because I do meditation, so I'm familiar with the diaphragmatic breathing.
And
right?
from
That's the best way to breathe
yoga,
in.
and from yoga, they spend a lot of time doing the right type of breathing, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Now you mentioned Tai Chi. There's a new exercise that seems to be getting very popular now, and it's called chair Tai Chi. Right? Have
Like
you
the
ever-
chair exercises.
Yeah.
Chair. Is that for older people? Yes. All the chair exercises, right?
It's for everyone.
Oh, okay.
It's for everyone. I've seen some of the ads for it. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
But just like anything else, if you don't do the exercise, it's not helpful.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. But the chair Tai Chi is helpful because the way they advertise it, they're saying after a week you won't recognize yourself. After 2 weeks, people are going to be asking you, what did you do?
Right.
But all they're doing is exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's exercise.
And motivating you to do something.
That's exactly what it is, a motivation to do something.
Yeah.
If you did walking and you did enough of it, you would have the same benefits as if you did some of these other exercises. And it's not to put it down one way or the other. If they can get people to exercise, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's absolutely amazing if they can get people to do that. I think it's important that you can do that.
Yeah, actually, one of the things they say is that with karate, it's like you have a 80% stick to it rate. Like people who do karate, like you've done it for years.
Yes.
So many, it's not one of those, it seems to be one of those exercises that when people start, they continue. I know where our grandson goes, the kid, the sensei, I think he said he started at 6. And I'm sure now he's in his late 30s or something. You know, what is it? Is it the discipline of karate that people tend to stick to it as a form of exercise more than so much of the others?
That is something that carries over to your everyday life.
Yeah,
That discipline.
the discipline, right?
I find that we get a lot of recommendations for karate because of the discipline factor.
Right.
So when parents are having trouble with their children or there's certain behaviors that they are unable to manage themselves, therapists have said, put them in karate, put them in a martial arts discipline because they're going to learn discipline, but at the same time, they're going to learn an art of some sort. And then hopefully at the end of the 5 years or the 6 years or the 7 years that it takes, they're going to be a black belt.
Yeah.
A black belt is somebody who has the ability to teach somebody what they've learned.
Okay.
And sensei, the term sensei means teacher,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that it has longevity and it has stick-to-itiveness because number one, when you do karate, you progress and it's visible.
Yes. And the belts, I mean, they're always striving towards a goal, the next goal, you know?
I trained in Kung Fu as my first discipline, and we had the same sash that we wore on our belts, like around our waist. If you put the knot on your left side, you were a student. If you put the knot on your right side, you were a master.
Oh, wow.
And if you put it in the middle, you were a grandmaster. You could be
Whoa.
training there for 10 years and never get a change of belt and never change the knot position.
Wow.
So you don't know if you're succeeding or not succeeding. And that's the nature of Kung Fu, because it's so vast. There's so much to learn. Karate is different. And I'll give you an analogy if you give me a minute.
Sure.
Gaishin Funakoshi was the father of Shotokan Karate. Shotokan Karate is known all over the martial arts world as one of the biggest forms of karate there is. Gaishin Funakoshi was a school teacher from Okinawa, Japan.
Right.
He went to a tournament in Japan and beat everybody.
Wow.
After he beat everybody, they said, you know what? We need you to come to Japan and teach our people. And they transplanted him from Okinawa to Japan. You remember I said earlier, Do is the way or the path.
Yes.
Right? Above his door, where he lives, it says Shuto's way. Shuto's way, right?
Right.
Shotokan. Kan also means way. Shoto's way, Shoto's path. Shotokan Karate. That's how it was, Shoto's way. So it's interesting that they transplanted him and he was the father of Shotokan Karate.
Okay.
It's important that he was able to do that. If you take on Kung Fu, it's not something that you can just master.
Right.
You can master a little piece of it, but if I had to give you an analogy, I would say to you that Kung Fu is an ocean and Karate is a river.
Okay.
Wow.
I see.
Okay.
I gotcha. Thanks for that. Yeah, because with little kids, they say little kids between 5 to 7 year olds who go to karate in 10 weeks, the amount of measurable benefits they can scientifically state for those kids as opposed to children who do nothing or who don't do this training in terms of building motor skills, their coordination and balance, their ability to reason, and the sequencing that they learn, all of those benefits.
What about self-esteem? Does it help in that?
Yeah.
In that?
I'm sure, right? It helps with
100% self-esteem, 100%. We say a quote at the end of every class. There is no secret to karate but to practice. Basics are everything, and everything is basic.
Okay.
Know better, do better. If not now, when? To teach is to learn twice.
Okay.
We teach them these things. We give them these messages, these little parables.
Right.
That take them a long way down the road.
Yes.
A long way down the road.
So your classes are consisted of just kids, or there's a combination of kids and adults?
Yeah, at the YMCA, it's just kids.
Just kids. But your outside dojo, it's a combination of both.
It's a combination, absolutely. We try to teach family karate. We try to get people to bring their kids and train with them.
Right.
Because
Okay.
we think that that's valuable time that they're spending together and they're learning together.
Now, I had asked you a question during the week, and I said, as an older person who would like to try karate, I thought I stayed away from it because I thought, like so much of the myths out there, that, karate as an older person, it's injury, it's, the things you hear that it's too dangerous, your bones, fragility, blah, 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 all of that stuff. Could you help us dispel some of those myths and why karate can be adopted to basically any age for health purposes?
Absolutely. I do believe that when you say the word karate, you think kick and punch. Again, I would suggest that that's 1/10 of what karate is really all about.
Okay.
Mental discipline, the physical discipline of you learning to lift a knee, extend the leg, bring your knee back in and put it on the floor. That takes time and practice. You have to put that time in. The reason why kids flourish in karate sometimes is because they have to learn to find a way to get these things done. We don't let them watch the video of how to do the karate. We teach them and we force them to have memory.
Okay.
Once they have memory, once they can repeat, then they're on their way. They're on their way to success. We will not test a kid or any student if they're not ready to pass.
Okay.
So we're not into this business of, I'm going to test you, you're going to fail, I'm going to charge you more money so that I can teach you what I should have done in the first place.
Okay.
That's not how we operate. We want kids to succeed and do well. The only way they can do that is if we teach them appropriately. We have been injury-free for many, 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 many years because we don't do this thing where people are allowed to be, and I use the term Lego or wild. It's discipline. So within that discipline, there's safety. If there's safety in the environment, no adult or child should be worried about their personal safety or anything that's happening because there's discipline involved.
Okay. As a matter of fact, an interesting study was, they said for injuries, they checked on injuries in different sports, 1,000 hours of karate training, resulting in 3.7 injuries. When they looked at soccer, it was 20 to 30 injuries for the same time period. And in hockey, it was 127, right?
Yep.
And with driving a car, it was 710 injuries per 1,000 hours of drive.
Wow.
Right? So it's like they said you're more likely to get injured driving to karate than in the karate lesson itself.
Absolutely. And that's because of the discipline. We try to make sure that everybody's safe. Our goal is not to hurt people. Our goal is to help people. So therefore, we're going to create an environment that is welcoming, that is friendly, that is safe. Who wants to go to a place and feel like at the end of the day, you know what, that was a traumatic experience? You don't need trauma in your life, especially as an older person. You want experiences in your life, but not ones that put you at risk. That's not good.
But again, can you talk about, or you know what, Frederick, you want to go to some of the emails and then we'll come back?
Ask the question and then we'll come
Okay.
back. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was thinking of, for example, again, going back to senior karate, in terms of what do most older women exactly worry about? It's falling and brittle bones and those things. And I've heard that karate as a discipline is something that can help some of those health issues in terms of making bones stronger. How is that different from saying doing exercise on the treadmill?
I would suggest that all exercise is good. It can't be bad, all exercise necessarily, but when you're doing something like karate or when you're doing something like Tai Chi, those sort of things, it's not designed to punish the body. It's designed to strengthen the body. So if you're doing an activity that's designed to help build your balance, because you're doing small or big muscles, you're using them in a specific way, it can only be helpful. And I suggest again that if you are doing an activity where you're not engaging all your body, you're just engaging a portion of your body, then that's what you're going to get. But your whole body needs some sort of attention. So when we do a warm-up or an exercise with a student, we start at the head, work on the shoulders, work on the hips, work on the legs. We're covering the whole body. It's dynamic, right? But it doesn't have to be physical.
Okay.
Tell me, what are some of those warm-up exercises like? You mentioned the head and the shoulders. And then what does it really entail?
So, for example, when we start with the head, we look to the left, we look to the right. We're not snapping the neck. We're going slowly and stretching. You're learning to stretch and stretch. You look up, you look down. You look up, you look down. All those things are keeping the body functioning. Shoulder rolls. There's no big aggressiveness in shoulder rolls. You lift the shoulder, you roll it back. You lift, you roll it back. You only do what feels comfortable. If the instructor says 10, but 5's your limit, then 5's your limit. You've done your job, but your body thanks you for doing that amount of exercise where you're using your whole body, engaging your whole body. If the only time you do a crunch is to get up out of bed, then you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's not enough for your body to say thank you. You've got to do 10.
Yeah, Paul, I'm going to get personal with you.
Sure.
What's your ailment? Like karate for over almost 40 years. What ails you? Anything?
Just a shoulder injury. That's it. Other than that, I believe that karate has kept me younger. It's kept me young. Martial arts has kept me young because I've met other people my age and they're not sure how old I am.
Right.
And I think karate did that for me. Huh?
Do we dare ask?
You can ask. Absolutely. I am 62 right now.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I'm just trying to maintain and do my thing. You know, I'm trying to maintain my health because money doesn't matter if you don't have health. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
Yep.
Health is where it's at. And this is a health show. So I'm trying to promote the health of the person's body through the discipline of karate, through the discipline of whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a break because we have a lot of email we'd like to get to. Folks, if you're joining us for the first time or you did so late, this is the Liquid Green Health Show. We're broadcasting live on Reality Radio 101, and our guest today is Paul Hamilton, Sensei, and he's taken us through breaking down the myths and, you know, taking us through this traditional art and helping us to understand the benefits that we could get from just practicing, you know, this discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hopefully someone out there
will benefit
from it because we're planting a seed of health today through karate.
Yes, and we've had yoga on, and we've never had karate before, or tai chi, or any of the others.
Okay. So you want to get to the email?
Sure. The first one I will read comes from
Bill.
Where is it? From Bill.
Okay.
And Bill says, my dad is 71 years old. He is morbidly obese. Could he start with a problem like this? Or could he start a program like this?
Yeah.
What would you say?
What would you say to that, Paul?
100%. Everything begins with the first step. So if you or his dad wants to change, wants to do something, exercise is going to be the key.
Yeah.
You know, it's only one factor because what you put into your body is what you get out of your body. Yeah. But activity for him, if he's morbidly obese, there's a good chance that he's not as active as he could be. But karate or any martial art would be a good start.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of our listeners, a lot of them are taking supplements. And they believe that the supplements are miracle cures. Mm-hmm. It does work, but if you're not exercising, you're not getting the full benefit of the supplements you're taking.
Yes, but I believe the biggest thing for anything in life, Paul, is the discipline. Because even nutrition, we all know what to do. Most of the things, and I'm putting myself on the line here. I know what to do, but is the discipline to not eat that, whatever it is, when you know you shouldn't.
Do it on a regular basis. And you know, let it become a lifestyle. That's what has to happen.
And I think as we get more obese, like, you know, if somebody's morbidly obese, it's just going to be that much harder to get started. But I think it all starts with the first step. Like you went back to the gym.
It's in the mind. It's all in the mind. Now here's one from Kim, and Kim says, I agree. Kicking some ass is always a rewarding mental health cure.
Kim has a sense of humor for sure, right?
Yeah.
Ralph says, breathing. Is breathing a big part of this? And I think, Paul, you did explain.
He did explain that.
Right?
He did mention that.
With the breathing. Yeah. Would you say breathing is like number one?
I would say breathing is a big factor. It's not the only factor, but it's a big factor.
Okay.
It's a big factor in what you do. You can breathe great, but if you weigh 700 pounds, it doesn't matter about your breathing. you're not going to be able to get there to do what you want to do. So you know what I mean? It's a factor. And I think we're listing some of the building blocks of health. Breathing is one, activity is another. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Diet is another. You're building on all those building blocks. It's what you put into your body. Like when you drive your car, you know it's not going to operate without fuel, right?
Yeah.
Your car could run for 100,000 kilometers without a checkup. But for the second 200,000, you better have a checkup, because if you don't, things are breaking down inside the car that you don't know about. Same thing with your body.
Yeah.
And if you put diesel instead of gas, you're in big trouble.
100%. 100%.
There's one from Lenora, and she says, hello, how long does it generally take to become a black belt? And I'll throw that question to you, Paul.
Okay. Typically, it could take between 5 and 7 years to become a black belt in karate.
What?
I use that discipline. 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
Wow.
And that is doing this steadily every week, going
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay.
Twice a week, 7 years, you could be a black belt. Some people, if they're engaged, 100% engaged, fully in it, and they go home and they practice with the discipline that we've been talking about, they might make it on the 5-year mark, no matter what.
Okay.
But the reality piece is, and I'll try to explain something to you, we give it a 5-year plan to get you to black belt. 2 years all on their own is brown belt, right? And green belt. They're a year each. Why? Because you're knocking on the door of black belt at that point. So we need a whole year to work with you on all those skills you've been developing the whole way through. Green belt is a year, brown belt is a year.
Wow.
That's just how it is. But at the end of the day, you're going to be an amazing martial artist if you can make it to black belt.
Okay.
Some people think black belt is the end of the journey or the end of the line, but black belt is the beginning of your learning.
Correct. That's what I've heard. The beginning, because that's when now you start to put everything. You're now. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like you're supposed to be like a better person.
And that's what this writer is asking here. The spiritual aspect of it must have something to do to transform you spiritually, not just physically. And this person is writing and says, most martial arts are not for defending, but for mind, body, and spiritual health.
Yes,
right.
Which is
it's really an holistic art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
The Japanese use the term mizu no kokoro. Mizu no kokoro. And that means mind like running water. If you do it enough to the point where you no longer have to think about it, it's mindless, then you're achieving. If you have to think, I'm going to put my hand up to block, if you have to think about that, you're not there yet.
You're not there yet.
You don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it.
Reflex, natural reflex.
You become one with your body, one with your environment. Then you're truly living it.
One of the sayings I heard, and I loved it, it says, demon hand, but Buddha heart. So we come back to the
walk
mind,
with a
body.
big stick, but tread lightly.
Right.
That's what it is.
Hand, yeah.
How many days a week should we practice? This is from Cindy, and
I think you just
mentioned,
answered that.
you said at least twice a week,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Twice a week in the gym and go home and practice.
And go home and practice.
Okay.
So for a student who's a white belt going to orange belt, which is the first section, I would suggest, we only require them to practice 1 hour a week. And that is 15 minutes 4 times or half an hour twice. That's enough to do what it needs to do. But as they increase in rank, they also increase in the amount of knowledge that they have to retain. So then we expect them to do more and more and more. By the time you get to brown belt or green belt, the requirements are 8 hours a month.
8 hours a month.
Wow. Okay.
8 hours a month, which is 2 hours a week.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I think you had addressed this earlier, but Eric is asking, what form of karate does your guest teach?
I teach Okinawan Shornryu Karate.
Okinawan. That's the self-defense?
No, it's the actual style of karate, Okinawan Shorinryu. So Shorinryu karate, it's interesting. I'll give you a quick little take on it.
How do you spell that? Shorinryu? Okinawan?
Shorin
Okay.
hyphen RYU.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the Okinawan is OKINAWAN. Okinawan.
Okay.
Okinawan. Okay.
Yes.
So the Japanese mainlanders came to Okinawa, the birthplace of karate, and
Right.
said, just so you know, guys, we're taking over. Just want you to know that. And then they did. They took over Okinawa, and it became a Japanese territory. Before that, they were called the Ryukyu Islands, and they were independent. So it was a port, right? So because it was a port, Okinawa, it was a military strong point. That's why the Japanese took it.
Okay.
The Okinawans were particularly fishermen. That's what they did for a living. But they had weapons and stuff. All their weapons were taken away from them when the Japanese occupied it. So guess what? The grist mill, the thing that they ground the grain with, became the tonfa, the weapon that they used.
Oh,
The truncheon, yes. The nunchaku, a bridle to hold the horse together to stop him from doing that. That became the nunchaku.
Okay.
The sai with the three prongs, how they baled the hay, hip, throw, hip, throw.
Okay.
The sickle with the blade on the end to sheath the wheat. So all those farming tools became
weapons.
That they could defend themselves with.
Interesting. Very interesting. Didn't know that at all. Nothing about karate.
Asymmetric warfare.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
We have one here from Jake, and Jake is asking the question, what is the highest level of karate?
Well, we know you just said black belt, but are there different levels in black belt, or once you reach black belt,
that's it?
It's the black. Is there just, like you said, for brown it's a year, green you study for a year. Once you're at black belt, is that the end of the road? And is there what else?
It's the beginning of the road.
It's the beginning.
And there are 10 degrees of black belt.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask.
10 degrees.
There's 10 degrees of black belt.
Wow.
So in any reputable karate association,
Right.
there's going to be a systematic way of progressing. So what we do, as an example, when you become black belt, you have 1 year probation before I give you your certificate. I've given you the title of black belt, but what's your behavior going to be like now that you've been given the power? Are you going to be abusive to students? Are you going to be angry? Are you going to hurt people? We look at you during that 1 year, and if your behavior is appropriate and you're good with people, we're going to give you your first degree black belt. Here is your certificate. You've been found to be acceptable. Then 2 years of training before you become eligible to test for your second. It doesn't mean that you get to test for your second, but your eligibility has now come.
Wow. Okay.
Once you become eligible, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years, we test you for your second degree black belt. You have 2 years of probation or 3 years of probation, whatever it is, and then you test for your third. Once you get your third, you're in it for 3 years. We do the probation, then you test for your fourth. You have to wait 4 years.
Wow.
And you're learning the patience, the discipline, and all those sort of things because you want it, but you have to wait for it.
So
Now,
many students will never get to the 10th because of the discipline, to the 10th level.
Correct.
Yesterday you mentioned you handed out some certificates at the Y yesterday.
Yes, I did.
What were those?
I had 5 students who have been tested and found to be proficient. 3 of them received their second degree black belt, but they've been training at the Y since they were kids.
Wow.
One of the girls started when she was 5 years old.
Oh my God.
And she's 22 now, 17 years later, and she's a second degree black belt. She traveled with us as the youngest brown belt to Okinawa, Japan.
Wow.
To train with the masters.
Wow.
That must make you feel proud.
Absolutely. She's into her karate in a big way. She teaches with her mom, who's also a martial arts instructor, and her younger brother, and another brother who are both martial artists. She's a paramedic in Durham. That's what she does for a living. But she finds time to have karate once a week that she's committed to. And she's an amazing martial artist. I wish I could have been that good when I was that young. She's really amazing.
That is amazing. Really. What is the cost for karate classes?
It varies depending on where you're training.
Okay.
It varies depending on where you're training.
And I mean, like hockey has a lot of equipment, and it for a lot of people, you just can't. With karate, the uniform, etc., baseline, what does it cost to just get started as a white belt?
As a white belt, uniform, maybe $60 for a uniform.
Okay.
And then that's it. You don't need sparring gear right away, because I'm not going to let you spar somebody if you don't know anything. So you're going to learn all your patterns, not all of them, but a set number of patterns. You're going to learn to do exercise and train your body. And when we think you're ready, we'll introduce you to sparring, which costs a little money. I'd say it's about $140, $150 to get headgear, hand pads, and foot covers so that you can't hurt somebody while you're training.
Okay.
Now look at that compared to hockey.
Yeah.
Right?
Helga.
Very little to get involved. Much less injury compared to hockey, which is a hell of a lot more expensive. Now,
Helga.
before you get to that,
How?
Paul, you had mentioned the different styles of tying the knot of the belt.
That was for Kung Fu, right?
That was for Kung Fu, yes.
Oh, it's not for karate?
No.
Oh, okay, then disregard the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody is saying, is Kung Fu a lot, Helga, is Kung Fu a lot different from traditional karate? But you did go through that, and we're going to tell Helga to listen to the show again, because you did cover that.
Yeah.
And then go to the next one, Frederick. James?
James is asking, are weapons a part of this?
Good question. I wanted to know, because I see the little kids using the sticks and the different things.
It technically, every style is different.
Okay.
We teach the bow as an interest thing. We only allow people who we think have been exuding correct karate discipline. So you've been practicing your kata, you're working hard on your training. We're going to allow you the privilege of learning the bow. That's it. It's a privilege thing. Technically speaking, old school karate, you cannot do weapons until you get the black belt.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right. So one of the old school philosophies was, you're a student until I make you a black belt. So therefore, the student is the student all the way along. And then when they get to black belt, the instructor says, okay, you're a black belt, so teach. They've never taught. They've only ever been a student. They've never been a teacher. So our philosophy is each one teach one.
Right.
We have orange belts teaching yellow. We have purple belts teaching orange. We have green belts teaching blue. Brown belts teaching green. Then at the end of the day, when they get their black belt, they're a pretty good teacher, because they've been sharing their knowledge from yellow belt, orange belt, to green belt, and so on and so on.
Okay. John is asking about the expense. We just covered that. So John, go back and listen. Hope you heard the answer to that. And Karen, yes, I'm thinking about it, Karen. She's showing a picture with me doing karate. And I'm saying, I said that to you before the show. I think I might talk to my doctor and see if I'm a candidate.
Okay,
because
very good.
My daughter does it. My son-in-law is starting, I think.
Our grandkids
do it.
Yep.
The little kids we have staying, my niece and nephew. What's his name? Kenny wants to do it. I think it would be excellent for him. He's 9.
Just for the discipline.
He's a 9-year-old, Paul. You've met him. He's in the body of an 11-year-old. And so he gets into a lot of fights and things at school. I think this would be one of the things, because the older kids thinks he's so big.
Yeah.
But he's really young.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't have the discipline to stay away. So he gets brought into broils, etc. Anyway.
Yeah, and it would be good for him to know how to take care of himself. So number 1, he doesn't get hurt. But number 2, he doesn't hurt anyone.
Yes.
Right.
Because based on his size, people would see him as the antagonist.
Yes, That's
You know what I mean?
exactly what's
Yeah.
happening. Yes.
Okay. And Mason says, is
Time.
diet, this is a good question. How important is diet a part of this practice?
It's not a part of my practice, but it's a recommendation of my practice that you do good things for your body.
Yeah.
So people's eating habits determine what's coming out. What you put into your body is what you get out of your body.
Okay.
More?
Yep. A few we'll just rush into. Matt, yes. Janet, is she going to take these lessons? I just answered that. And Rachel says, Janet can use this against Fred when he buys those cookies. I can karate chop them out of you. Right? And Ron says, when? When is Fred doing this? A couple more, Steve. Together. Hello, Janet and Fred. Take lessons together so that you can practice with each other. And that's what you said, Paul, that you
Yes,
do
I did.
family, right? So I guess
100%.
but it's really something that you do. And we'll just get through a couple more and then ask you to share with us how people will
How people can
find
get in
you
touch with you,
if
yes.
they're interested in Toronto or at the Y, right? So
I didn't realize we had so many.
yeah, Tina, is part of this training include the history of karate and its philosophy? That's a great
100%.
yeah.
100%. We make sure that kids know that karate comes from Okinawa, Japan. There's a Chinese influence in karate that people don't know about. So the Japanese and the Chinese share language. People don't know that.
No.
So the old system of karate that I used to train in, it was called
Hey.
Shunryu Karate Kobayashi. And Kobayashi Karate was small forest style. And the reason it was called small forest style was because Shaolin was surrounded by a small forest. So it's interesting. The Kobayashi, if the Japanese person reads it, it says Kobayashi Shunryu. If a Chinese person reads the same logo, it says Silum Kun, which means Shaolin Temple.
Okay.
The Chinese had a huge influence on the karate that we learned.
Okay. So Shaolin, what do you say? Shaolin?
Shaolin, yes.
Shaolin. Is that a form of karate again, like Kung Fu? Is that a different?
It's the history. It's the history
The
piece.
history. Oh.
Shaolin Temple was famous because the priests taught Kung Fu to all the students. And then the students went out and nobody was able to defeat them because they were so good at the Shaolin Temple. Parents would bring their kids to the Shaolin Temple and give their kids to the temple so they could be trained as warriors to defend the country.
Okay. I have one more question, and this is just based on one of my favorite TV shows, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. It's very popular, and I thought, my goodness, it's great. I think a lot of kids have signed on to karate because of that show. What type of karate do they do, and how violent does this, like as an art form and Hollywood? Do you think they're doing a good or a bad job in terms of how they influence young people in the art of what karate or martial arts really ought to be?
Without getting into too much detail on that question, I would suggest that the TV show is trying to get ratings.
Okay.
So they're going to do whatever they got to do to get ratings. But Cobra Kai, starring Daniel LaRusso, right?
Yeah.
Character, he was trained by Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, wow. You're right.
Mr. Miyagi was from Okinawa.
Okay, right.
So that's the story.
Okay.
So it's ancient karate.
Okay. The philosophy is...
Okay. In the interest of time, if you can tell our audience how they can get in touch with you if they have a desire to do so, whether it's at the Y where you work or through your private dojo.
Okay. I'm going to give everyone a website.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll spell it out for you. GYOSHI, pronounced Gyoshi.ca.
Gyoshi.ca.
Okay.
That website will take you to me. send me a message.
and
Sooner
answer,
than that.
and you'll be able to
Easy enough.
answer all their questions.
I can give a phone number if somebody has a question they'd like to ask.
Sure.
The phone
Please
number
do.
is 1-416
Yep.
302-1313.
Great.
And also, let me repeat that: 416-302-1313.
1313.
You can get in touch with Paul.
Yeah.
Yes.
There may be parents listening and may have a question in regards to an instructor. What should they look for in a school or an instructor?
Yes. Good question, Frederick. I wanted to ask that.
That's a great question. If the kids are having fun and learning, those things have to be in concert with each other. If they're having fun but they're not learning, that's a waste of time. If they're learning but not having any fun, that's also a waste of time.
Okay.
I mean, discipline only goes so far. If you're not enjoying it, it's a problem. A lot of professional athletes have come out and said, I played professional hockey for years, but I never enjoyed myself.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying to you, the discipline is great, but they still have to be having fun. If they're not having fun, it's not going to be a good memory for them down the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, you've been around, in this art for quite some time.
Yep.
What does martial arts mean to you beyond the physical practice? What do you get from it?
Personally.
That's a very good question. I would suggest that I've been doing it for over 40 years, and some of my best moments of when I've been able to help somebody achieve the rank of black belt or achieve the rank of blue belt or green belt, any success that a student ever achieved fills my heart.
Great.
That fills my heart because it's something that is a good memory for them. It's a good memory for them.
Right.
They did
Paul,
something.
how many students have passed through your hands? Rough guess.
2,000, 3,000.
Oh my God. Wonderful.
Wow.
Kudos.
It's been over 40 years, so.
Wow. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, Paul. Today our guest, ladies and gentlemen, is oh boy, there goes the music. We've been speaking with our guest, Paul, I forgot your last name. Hamilton, right. Sensei. He can be reached at gyoshi.ca, that is spelled GYOSHI.ca, and he'll be able to answer all of your questions. Folks, karate is an ancient art. It's been around for thousands of years, and it's rooted in discipline and balance. It offers far more than self-defense. It is a complete system for strengthening the body, sharpening the mind, and restoring inner harmony. And with that, we have to say goodbye. It's been a wonderful evening to spend with you. Want to remind you that healthy individuals tend to be more productive and may even enjoy longer lives. So until next Sunday, same time, same station, we are the Coxes, reminding you, let's stay healthy on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your host.